Whew. I ain't get no mustard. Let me just get ketchup. I can't believe how small things is. I'm gonna have to get a chicken sandwich to go home. Cause this is nothing. This is nothing. I'm supposed to be working on my hooks. My hook is I don't know. I've been thinking about my hooks. Hey, Annie V. Hey, W. Saunders. How many people still like corn dogs? I used to love it. I was first introduced to corn dogs at the fair, right? Everybody got first introduced to the corn dogs at the fair. They said, hey, boo.
Hey, still feed myself.
See?
Try to get her to cook.
Did he say that? You see how he did? On live, look, I was good. It said live TV. That's how he do me. No, he don't want me to cook. He do not. Saint, you see what he did? Try to out me on live. Talking about trying to get me to cook. He might need corn dog and some this is look how small the corn dog is. No wonder they don't have them as a combo no more. They $2. They $2. It's about fair. What y'all eating for dinner? We thought we was going to the movies, but Mission Impossible was sold out. What you saying, Anna V? It won't be you. What you having for dinner? Hey, Asia. Thank you, VA in the house. Even a hot dog is small. You could have got your foot long.
That's good.
Okay. Hey, TT. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming on. Please come right in and hit that thumbs up for me. I appreciate y'all. Y'all seeing his videos. His countdown to his birthday videos. See, can I get him a million views in 2 weeks? He doing good, right? Hey, Dion. Whatever. That's why I don't know why they're making the corn dog so small, because they're really good. Boo, they're good, right?
Yep.
Anybody ever try to make corn dogs at home? Because what it's just dipped in cornmeal, right?
Well,
Well, how do they get it around? It's something just dipped the hot dog, right? Hey, Regina. How you doing, Sheila? SNS. Y'all having a good weekend? I was gonna play hooky from content creator tonight, but Mission Impossible is sold out over here, and you know that movie is almost 3 hours long. Mission Impossible is almost 3 hours long. So we grab a snack. We're gonna grab some ice cream and go back home, and then I'm gonna make my videos. Anna V, you made a corn dog at home before? Asia, Center Bistro is too expensive. What we paid at Center Bistro a week ago We could have went to the movies 2 times here. 2 times here. And the food was okay. Yeah. To get into the movies here is $7 and some change. One person at Center Bistro is $16. It's a big difference. And the seats are just as comfortable and just as roomy at Chester Cinemas. They're way too expensive. And this particular one, it used to be you had individual seats, but now they got the row seating. It's still roomy, but it doesn't beat Chester Cinemas. Chester Cinemas, they have breakfast. You could come in for an early movie and you could order breakfast. That's a deal changer. That is cool. You cook on Sundays? Hello, Wells. How you doing? You cook on Sunday, Saunders? Hey, LXX. How you doing? Hello. Thank you for coming in. Thank you so much. I haven't been to Bowtie in so long. Yeah, I haven't been to Bowtie in so long. Not since this Chester Cinemas open. I haven't been to Bowtie. And it used to be, what's the other? We used to go to the one off of Hall Street. CMX or something like that. We used to go to that one. Now that was one of the first ones that came in the area that was serving food. I miss the $2.99 movie theater that used to be on Broad Street, and they had real restaurant quality food. And they used to you remember that, boo?
Mm-hmm.
And they used to bring it to your table, and it was really, really nice. I guess the overhead didn't match the price that they was paying, that they was charging us for coming in. Hey, Linda, how you doing? Hey, Purple. I rarely cook. I might cook some eggs or something. I stopped cooking when I started dropping the pans. I kept dropping the pans because of my hands. Yeah, it was getting to the point. It was just a little bit too dangerous. That's the real reason. The other reason I said that because they used to talk about my cooking. But the real reason is I couldn't lift the pans and stuff. And like I couldn't take stuff out the oven. Yeah. Your food is good to you. Yeah. I love season. And see, everybody, I'm not the person that you want to go over their house and everybody needs something different to eat. I'm not doing all of that. Now, I'll order it, but I'm not going to stand up there and cook 3 different meals. I'm not that mama. Queens, did they close?
Mm-hmm.
I think they closed. The last time I ate from Queens is when my oldest son was alive. That was 2019. And he wanted Queens. Because I used to like the Jamaican place in Petersburg called Flavors. They were good to me. I love Flavors. And then another place opened up in Petersburg. They didn't consider themselves Jamaican, but their fried rice, and it reminded me of hibachi at Kabuto's. That's what it reminded me of, hibachi at Kabuto's.
Yeah.
You good?
Mm-hmm.
You love Kabuto's? I love Kabuto's. I love. They try to bring a place here in Chester Similar. It's called kabuki, something like that. No comparison. No comparison. I tried them a couple of times, and the strange part about them, they were better during COVID than they are now. The food was better with them during COVID than it is now. Hey, Sky Dancer, thanks for coming in. I'm sorry I got food everywhere, y'all. That's that's why they say it's not good to go grocery shopping and stuff when you're hungry. Right? Asia, where you don't live in this area no more? What y'all having for dinner? Or y'all already started cooking for Sunday dinner? Sunday dinner. My grandma used to cook, but she ain't used to cook like I see people do for Sunday dinner. Now my grandma cooked. She cooked on Sundays and Mondays because she had to go to work, and she cooked for the week. You ready to move back?
There's some.
Y'all don't forget to hit that thumbs up for me. You feel purple. Thank y'all for coming in. I appreciate y'all. Hey, Angela. You have to be. I don't blame you. I can't even say, when I used to drive the tour buses, I travel a lot. There's still a lot of states I want to go to, but I don't have no desire to go across seas or anything like that. I would just like to go to different, more destination places right here. Hey, Val. Hey, Tiffany. Thanks for coming in. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. I'm from VA. I'm the first generation really from VA. No, my mom and them, they are, because my grandma came from Baltimore. I'm doing pretty good. How you doing today? From Jersey. We used to do a lot of tour buses trips to Jersey. Where did they go? We used to try excuse me, y'all. We went to these Philly. No, that wasn't Philly. That was Jersey. No. Where did we go in Jersey? We didn't go to Jersey. We went to Philly. And then from Philly, we used to go straight into New York. I wonder if you know my mom. They call her Coco. She was a hairstylist. What, in Petersburg? She was a hairstylist in Petersburg? In Richmond? You remember what hair salon she worked in? She doesn't do hair anymore? Hey, Missy. Where she does hair now? Hey, how you doing, Clara? I asked that because there's not too many people that came up in the salon like in the 90s that I don't know. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, if she did Broad Rock, then I might not know her. Mm-mm. Y'all been friends for 30 years. You know what? So many young people won't be able to say that they've been friends for somebody with 20 and 30 years. Hey, Faith, thank you. Ivory from New Jersey. Is she a new stylist? Now, mind you, I retired in 2006. Thank you, baby. Yeah, I retired in 2006. When I first got diagnosed with lupus, it was really bad. Like my feet and stuff was twisting on each other and stuff. My symptoms was just way different. Yeah, until they figure out that that's why I say lupus, but it's lupus with the Jo-1 antibody. So like some people have lupus and they can keep on going. My lupus was different. How you doing, Hayes? A lot of young, yes, yes. And you know something, 21, because they always say, why you always say my 77-year-old husband? That's why, right there, that's why, because it's so many young people that don't even have the dream of growing old with grandkids and stuff. They're leaving us just like this. They're gone. They're gone. One of my sons is one of them. They don't have that dream of being old and a grandpa and, you know, sitting in a rocking chair and all of that. Mm-mm. Only thing they just trying to live for next week.
Tomorrow.
Well, okay. That's the truth, right?
Right.
They just trying to make it till tomorrow. Yeah. They have mad respect for my husband. They call him Pops and, you know, Unc and something else they call him.
Mr. H.
Mr. H. Something. It's another name they call him too. Yes. They don't have daddies old as my husband, or a lot of them don't have grandpas or anything. Oh, I stopped doing hair in 2006 when I got diagnosed. Yeah, I couldn't take that chance on curling somebody's hair and dropping the curling irons on them. Very nice to meet you too, sweetie. Thank you. You know, growing up in school, everybody had an April in their class. Years ago, back in my day. I appreciate y'all coming in. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And the coughing was so bad. Like I couldn't even, like now it's pretty good. Because at first I couldn't hold a conversation. I couldn't hold a whole conversation with you like this. That's how bad the coughing was. I don't think so. Mostly when I came along, everybody had nicknames. Like I used to work at Beauty World. I worked at Paulette and Maryland. I worked at Hair 2000. I worked at what was the name of Lou Shop? Lou Shop is when I moved to Southside. I worked at Lou Shop, The Elegance. Then I worked at True Dream. Then I opened my own. My first shop was One Touch. That was off of Midlothian. And then my second shop, no, let me take that back. Because I stayed at home and did hair for what, a year. maybe a little bit more. I stayed at home. I had a mad clientele at home, but what made me move out the house is because the sink stopped kept kept getting stopped up, and the maintenance people was catching on that I was doing hair. Really? And her daughter, because that's the other thing too, when you have a family and the older people didn't go to the doctor like that. I'm sorry. When you had a family, because they said most of the time, like if I have lupus, somebody else in the family have lupus. Now my sister have fibromyalgia, and a lot of my nieces have different things, but somebody is usually somebody in the family that also had a lupus. Now for me, I really think it was my grandma, because she had a type of psoriasis where she could take the skin and just peel it off like a snake. And she had it on her hands, her elbows, and her feet. She used to take razor blades, and every week she had to shave her feet. It was a whole process. And the bucket used to be so filled with skin, just skin from her shaving. So that is what they call mitosis. It's not psoriasis. People is quick to say like psoriasis and stuff. That wasn't psoriasis that she had. Yes, hereditary. Somebody else in the family had it. Yes. And back then, my grandma and them didn't go to the doctor and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. Now, the only thing that I know my grandma had was a hysterectomy. So that's why nothing like that shocks me, because usually somebody else in your family would have that too. We just don't have the documentation. Yeah. I think I told the story about my grandma on my page. Yes. And that's the story. I only can go by the story my grandmother told me. And my grandma, the likelihood that some kind of Asian is mixed with her. My sister and I, we was just talking about doing the Ancestry.com, because a lady found my grandma. That was the story. A lady found my grandma in the snow, because whoever her biological mother was just left her out there. Yes. Is that trash now, baby?
Not yet.
I thought.
You can put it in now.
Okay. Yeah, it's a big story. Hey, New Jersey. Thank you so much, Spearman. Thank you. They saying hey, baby.
Hey. I'm sorry I'm eating.
Yes.
I gotta keep my energy up.
Yeah, because I'm getting him to do the videos. Thank you so much for checking in. Yep, that was the story, that the lady heard my grandma crying in the snow. When she went in front of that vacant house, my grandmother was in the snow, and she picked up my grandma and took her in. I don't know, they didn't really start coming out with the birth certificates and stuff till I think maybe the late 60s and stuff like that. A lot of places, a lot of people didn't go through adoption agencies, and
They didn't do it until that child had to go to school.
yeah, they didn't do that, all of that. They just took child. And then you still have kids that was born at home. It's not a big thing, now, but back then, because was you born at home?
Yes.
A lot of kids was born at home. Some of those things you can't get away with now, but when you think about it, that was the reality back then. Yeah, my grandma, and the story had to be true, because, true. My grandma told the story on many days. On many days. My grandma told the story to me so much that I felt like I was there. Yeah, I felt like I was there. And sometimes you can hear the hurt and pain in her stories. Yeah, in the stories. And you know, and some stories she'll just what would you say? What the older people used to say. Some stories she would just skim over. And some stories she told in depth. And that was one story. I used to ask how she had scars from here all the way down. Now my grandma was 410. 410. She had freckles on her face. She was a cattle yellowish color. Like she didn't have the red undertones like I have. Yeah. Yeah, she was different. Yeah, she didn't have those undertones like I do. Like I have reddish undertones. I could wear a yellow base foundation and I can wear a red base foundation. I don't know. My skin is like different. I can get away with a lot of stuff that some people don't. I can get away with foundations that don't even really match my skin complexion. Yes. Your mom too? Yes. My grandma used to say she used to have to keep the people off her. You know, back then they was I tell people each generation have their thing. Like back in my grandma day, they had switchblades and stuff like that. They used to could do that. This generation, only thing they do is pow, pow, pow. You know, it's different. I think before the pow, 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 then people, if they got in arguments, they would do regular fighting. No,
They had
because
shotguns. They didn't have pistols.
they had blackjacks and what is yeah, blackjack. That's a blackjack. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah. In North
yeah,
Carolina,
and
they
yeah,
had our shotguns.
yeah. I was trying to get you not to say that on live. That's why I said pow, pow, pow.
Oh,
I don't want to get shut down.
Got
Yeah.
you. Got you.
My grandmother, when she passed away, she was 83. 83. And she did not have a birth certificate. Her um her name, date of birth was in a Bible. Her name, date of birth, and everything was in the Bible. Also was in the Bible was the list of kids. And then the list of kids, even with the list of kids and then their kids' name. Yes. You know, all of those things are gone. It's gone. It hurts me to my heart. Those things are gone. That is history. That is history. Yeah, I don't need a Black History Month. We are history. Your mom didn't either. Y'all had a family Bible? Because y'all still have y'all family Bible. Because Lassie has it. They still have their family Bible. And my husband will be 78 in a couple of weeks. My mom said the midwife forgot to write it down the day she was. Oh, man. Wow. Really? I think it depends on the demographics where you lived. Yeah, where you lived. Yeah, because
too, a lot of people couldn't read or write.
Exactly. Because my grandma, like we said 0 and 0, my grandma used to say naught and naught. Naught from naught equals naught. That's what she used to say. And people don't know, even right here in Virginia, as much as we have progress, it's still people in the country areas that don't have running water, that don't have bathrooms in their homes. And people, when people make judgments or make opinions, you're going by what's in your demographics, what you have seen. But it's a big world out there. Everybody don't live like you live. Everybody do not live like you live. And maybe that's what I'll do too. I'll do a drive-through. You have people that still live with their farmland and their little house, but guess what? They own it. It might not be up to date, but they own it. They still don't have no indoor plumbing, but they own it. They still don't have no air conditioner or anything else, but they own it. And the value of that is missing from the younger generation, because soon as though I see land now, like when we go home, soon as those older people pass away, the kids get it and sell it. They sell it off. They sell it. It's gone. Soon as my grandma had a stroke, and what got them was she lived through the stroke. But when she had the stroke, they already sold her house. They sold it. They sold her house. Her house today, we looked it up about 2 years ago. Her house now is worth $750,000. And my grandma bought that house, paid for it with her blood, sweat, and tears, with a 3rd grade education, and she bought a house. They sold it like that. That gone. And the amount they sold it for, you will cry. You will cry, honey.
You can buy a car now.
The amount they sold it for is the price of a car, maybe a Toyota right now, honey. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. That's what they did. And now it's worth $750,000. Yes, yes, honey. Yes. And the people, all of them that got together to sell her house, while I was in the nursing home with my grandma, watching her take her last breath. Watching her take her last breath. That's what they was doing. They was doing it. And they had, you know, that story hurts me to the heart. They had to hurry up and do it before she took her last breath, because immediately after she took her last breath, I was power of attorney. I had the rights to do everything. But before, my grandma didn't have a living will. She only had the will for after she passed away. They did all of that. While I was at my grandma's house, while I was at the nursing home every day with my grandma, they was plotting. They did all of that. I done been through some stuff, honey. I done been through some hard stuff. I had to make some hard decisions and everything. And I did a lot of stuff just to keep the peace. But I could tell you, if it wasn't for this man right here, my heart, and some things I don't even know. Just by the grace of God, I could just keep walking, because the stuff they did, the stuff they did. I can't even get myself together. Dirty. Yep. Ain't that something?
Yeah, I know.
Whew.
So my cousin tried to do that.
My grandma worked so hard. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. In Mississippi.
Oh, Mississippi. Ooh.
Yes. Ain't that something, Rodent? The things you just don't know. Yes. And that's a good scenario. What you don't know can hurt you so bad. What you don't know, because we didn't know nothing about a living will. We didn't know. My grandma tried to make sure everything was in place, but we didn't know. We didn't know the stuff they could do. And we didn't know the things that they could do, because I was the granddaughter and not the daughter or the son, because I was the granddaughter. Yes. Ain't that something? But if you don't know, my grandma did the best she could with a 3rd grade education. When you walked in my grandma's house, nothing but books. Even if she didn't know the words, she tried to read, right, baby?
Yes.
Books. Just books and books and books and books. Everything from kindergarten. I mean, the old books. Yeah, she had everything, and scrub floors and everything. Yep. And that's why I was telling the girl, um, even when I was young, um, in the 70s, in the 80s and stuff, I was cutting wood. That's why I was stronger than most of the kids in my area, because we had to cut wood every day, and we lived in a big house. The ceilings was 12 feet. Yeah, we lived in a house that in the Virginia VCU area, in that area where the windows was from the floor up to the ceiling. Those the type of windows we had to clean and stuff like that. And we didn't. I can't remember having a mop because we scrub floors on our hands and knees. I can't remember having a mop. I can't remember having a mop. And grandma had real wax. I don't know where she got it from. Like, wax was in jars, not no mop and glow and stuff like that. Real wax.
You found also that it was in cans.
Yeah, it was in jars, like mason jars. Yeah. Yeah, we had, that's how, and we cleaned the windows, not with Windex. We had vinegar and water, mason jars. We used to have to take the storm windows out, and put the screams in for screams in, right? And like days like this, I guess that's why I like being outside. Like, I do a lot of work outside. My husband be like, where are you at? I'm sitting in the parking lot at McDonald's or something like that. Because we used to could sleep on the porch just with paddles, and we didn't have that worry. We just didn't have it. We didn't have that worry. I'm not saying it wasn't like that. We didn't have that worry at that time. We had a whole lot of other stuff going on, but we didn't have to worry about that. You lived in apartments once and scrubbed the floor on hands and knees, right in the kitchen. And like we um the house that my grandma bought really was for a two family. No, I'm gonna say, how would I put that? Because what happened is we had two of everything. You had a kitchen upstairs, you had a kitchen downstairs. You had a bathroom upstairs, you had a bathroom downstairs. The bathroom upstairs had the wash tub, what you call it, bathtub, but then the commode and stuff was separate. And then the door to go to the kitchen pot, it had its own bedroom, its own living room. It had its own door to go outside, like people building patios outside. But the steps to go downstairs was so, I'm going to say it was like 60 steps. So that could be scary. And then when you came from that end, it was two big rooms up the front. So you really could rent those rooms out. And it could have been a community bathroom. But the only thing would have been that kitchen. Would have been a kitchen, because that door was like a whole apartment. And then when you went downstairs, it was another two big rooms, but another door that goes into another whole apartment. Yep. She always wanted her kids to be able to have their own room and space where we wasn't on top of each other. The only thing about that was the ceilings was so tall, the heat was, she was spending thousands of dollars on heat. Excuse me, y'all. So she used to try to subsidize that with wood stoves. So who cut the wood? My brother and I. We cut the wood. Yep. Hey, Anna V. How you doing? Hey, Y-I-M-E. I love big houses, but not for, yes, yes, that cleaning, yes. You're 81. Yes, rodent. Yes. Yeah, people, my story is a lot of different because a lot of people that I know, they grew up in apartments and stuff like that. And when I talk about, they used to tease me at school because the kids used to say, I used to, some kind of, the conversation would come up and I said, well, I have to get the broom and the shovel. And they used to say, what's a shovel? A shovel. Because they were saying dustpans. But we use shovel because you all use the shovel to shook the, what you call, cinders of the coal out the bottom of the coal stove. So you didn't use no dustpan, you use a shovel. And my grandma was going to buy a dustpan and a shovel. We're going to use the shovel for everything, sweeping up and everything. But yeah, my terminology was totally different. And it was such a big difference when I went to school and with the other kids and stuff. It was different. Yep. And I guess that's another reason why I have a lot of imagination, because we had to use what we had to make it work. So the only way you could do that, you had to have productive thinking skills. So you had to be able to think that. My brother was really, really smart. He was really, really book smart, and he used to can draw. He could just take and look at your face and just draw you. But we definitely took different paths as we got older. Yes. I can remember when my mom had to clean those houses for people. Yes, she worked for. And my mom would come home so tired. Yes. Yes. So I used, same thing with me on April. When my grandma got home, she used to come straight in the house, and she just walking with her pocketbook, and I used to already have her fire ready for her, so her section would be nice and warm, and I just did my best. So that's why, when it came down to where the house and stuff was gonna go, it wasn't no question where it was gonna go, because I was gonna be there. And the jealousy just, you know yeah, it's, yeah. And and you know what, I think my mom didn't raise me, so, but I wish before she died she at least had to, if she had the opportunity just to apologize to me. I wonder, would she have apologized, you know and not for not raising me, but the stuff she did later on. I don't have no ill will towards her for not raising me. She was young when she started having kids. That's a whole different situation. But the stuff she did when she was older and she knew better, then I wonder, would she have ever apologized? I try my best not to play the I wonder game, because you'll get so lost down that road. you know I think I did it one day when Omar left this earth. I said, if he would have only came home, he might still have been alive. He's supposed to have came home and painted the bathroom for me, and he didn't come. And that day he didn't make it no more. He wouldn't be able to come home again. Yeah. My mom all those years. Yes. Okay. Right. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It's like so many things, you know. I try my best. I'm trying so much with my youngest son just to be a listener. To be a listener. Is when you're a mother, you want them to be the best so much, and trying to take away the experiences that's not gonna get them the desired outlook, or their desires. You try to save them from that, but they have to walk through it too. They got to walk through all of that. Yeah, Lord. That's why I said when we come on live, we never know what we're gonna be talking about, right? I appreciate y'all coming in here. I can't never do no full makeup with y'all because y'all have my makeup all over in the place. It's nice. It's like it's a content creator where her son unalived himself, and they said, why did she come on live and was talking to everybody? Because that was her family. People that she never met before was her family. People that she might never will meet, that was her family. She went and talked to people that she felt comfortable with. You know what? I forgave my mother long time ago. Let me tell you what I did. I think I did a video telling this story. When I talked to her attorney, they told me, if I pursue this, then she would go to jail. Because what she did was commit fraud. Okay? I went to church that day, and I sat in that seat for 3 services. I didn't move. I just was patient, praying, thinking, how did I want to pursue this? Because I knew my grandma would be turning over in her grave. I had that choice to make. So when I left church, I went to her house. I still didn't let her know what I knew. And what I knew was accurate because her husband came and told Lewis and I what she did. Her husband came and told us what she did. And I said, Mom, Grandma is not here, and I want this opportunity for us to build a relationship, because no matter what, my grandmother made me call her mom. My grandmother, that's the worst slap that I got one time when my mom walked in the door and I called her by her name. And my grandma slapped me. She said, don't you ever do that. Ever. I never did that again. I always called her mom because she said, I am your grandmother and that is your mother. And no matter what, that's still your mother. Okay? Yeah. And she said that. And whether you get along or not, I don't know why your mom is jealous of you. I don't know why your mom treats you like this, but that's still your mother. And that always stuck with me. So I said, Mom, I want this opportunity for us to grow. It's nothing we can do to change the past, but we can do something about the future. And she just stood up there and looked at me, and she didn't know I knew what she had did. And I said, you know, I want this opportunity. I really reached out to her. And when I reached out to her, that was my way of forgiving her what she did. And I didn't even have to say it to her or anything, that I knew what she did. I wanted the door to open. And she tried to walk through the door a couple of times. She just couldn't walk through that door with me for some reason. Yeah, I would never know. You know, I don't know if it has something to do with who my father is or any day. It's some reason she could not walk through that door complete with me. And I'm not saying we didn't have good times. It just never was that relationship like a daughter would want with their mom. Yeah. But I didn't have no hatred or anything. I just wasn't that person. Even the person that unalived my son, I did not have no hatred. That's why it's hard for me to do my grief page, because my grief page is so many hurt. I mean, hurt, 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 and then so much madness and everything that it's hard for me to do that page because I never got to the point of being angry and mad or anything like that. I just wasn't that person. Would I want to know what happened? Of course I would. I want to know what happened. I want to know that. But I never was angry. And it's so awkward because when I was younger, I was a very mad, fighting all the time, angry person. But some reason I just never became that. I was very hurt with what my mom did. I could have made some very stiff decisions that would be in my right to do, but would it have been worth it? You know, would it have been worth it going to court? Because once she did that, everybody that purchased the house could have sued her also. It's no way she had money to pay people back. None of that. The house would have forfeited because the original transaction was not legal. Yep, it was not legal. And I was like, do I want to do that? Yeah, and I made a decision and we talked about it. It was like, let it go. Let it go. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, you know, I think when I married Lewis, I'm not saying that a window just opened up, but time made me grow different, and seeing how he responds to I can only tell you I only seen Lewis mad maybe 3 times, maybe 3 times, that I only seen him mad 3 times. And he's the type of person, he's going to listen to you, then he's going to tell you what he had to say, and then whatever consequences come after that is what comes after that. You know? Look, you want something to make you laugh? Look, because I don't want to be crying. Let me tell you the first time that Lewis got mad. It was at me. I'm telling you, I was a hairstylist, right? And we would, you know, we dressed and did things a certain way, right? Look, you see his face giving a bit down. I bought, and it's so funny because it's so appropriate because it's Cowboy Carter time, okay? All right. I bought these leather pants. The butt was out, the front was out, and they buttoned down the side of the pants. Them pants cost me 2 days worth of doing hair, $300. Okay, I bought those pants, and I was like, "Oh, these is nice. My very first pair of leather pants." Blah blah blah.
What? I didn't say that. You said I didn't say a word.
I went without him, and all the girls in the salon and Ella, all of us was dressed similar. I went without him, and I came up to his job with them pants on, and he said, "What you got? What do?" Yeah, Angela. And you know we had the leggings or something under it, but we had those pants. I ain't never in my life seen Lewis so mad. Do you hear me? I got to wear them pants that one time, and then all of a sudden, them pants disappeared.
Won't me.
Them pants disappear, honey. I ain't never had no $300 pair of pants. These kids pay $300 for jeans and tennis shoes and stuff. You hear me? I told you I grew up with my grandma and we was cutting wood and everything. I ain't never had no $300 pair of pants. Everybody was wearing them pants. Excuse me, y'all. I ain't never. Purple, don't laugh at me. My pants disappeared here. I was in a salon, and back then, the salon was where fashion started. That's why it's so different now. But the salon is where fashion started. The salon is where people invented the fashion. You could not tell me nothing in them pants. I was cute, honey. I was cute.
Can't find a pair now.
The cowboy stuff coming back, so you can get them now.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even fit in a pair now. Hey, Washington. Oh, look. Don't come on here, Washington, just to laugh at me. You couldn't tell me nothing in them pants. Just thinking about them. And you know what? And it's so funny because I was to do a video about all the things I missed doing when I was younger and had a flat stomach. Like, I miss doing the crop shirts. Because back then, your grandma and your parents, you didn't walk around showing your belly button, right? Like, I missed that era. I missed the era of the short miniskirts because I just didn't do that. So when I got those pants, honey, you couldn't tell. I just knew when I walked up to Louis' job, he was gonna say, baby, you look so nice and you look so cute. He was like, I don't like those pants. I don't like those pants, Sheila, and I am not playing with you. I was like, I have never seen Louis that mad since. He have got mad, but he has never got that mad before. Never. Angela, I wore me some cool looking chaps in my day. I know that's right. But I was doing horse shows and competition too. Never wore them by themselves. Them pants was too much for Mr. Lewis. Look, Washington, look, everybody got that one outfit, like, I know I look good. And that day, I knew I looked good. I always could walk around in like 4-inch heels. That's why I had opened a boutique called Bad Shoes and Boots. And I could always walk around in 4-inch heels. But I put them pants on and them 4-inch heels, you couldn't tell me nothing. And Louis didn't like them. I just could not believe he liked my pants. Hurt my feelings. How you doing, baby? Hey, Liv. Thank you, baby. Big hugs to you. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all. We can go from crying to laughing and everything, and I love that. But that's how my brain works for real. My brain works just like that. I can just go on and go through 10 different emotions. But like I said, even with my son and stuff, I'll be driving down the road and I might shed a tear, and his favorite song will Heavy Deal come on and make me laugh, make me remember the time he was going to Fisher School and they had a talent search, and he was always a big kind of chubby guy, but he did Heavy Deal. We loved it. It was like, you have the good memories, and I don't want to be consumed. And it's so appropriate that we're talking about different things like this, because the anniversary of him leaving this world is the day after my husband's birthday. It's such an emotional roller coaster. The month of April and the month of June is an emotional roller coaster for me, because I have his birthday, Father's Day, and the day that somebody took my son's life. Yeah. I could walk in some 4-inch heels, girl. I used to do plus size modeling, all the little fashion shows and everything. I loved it. Yet, and if like June is like, so much. And so I emphasize And I repeat, and I keep doing videos about this because people ask constantly. I emphasize his age just to give, our youngest son that you can live to be this old. You can make it. And I'm not saying we don't know the day nor the hour or any of that. We don't have no control over that. But you can control your actions, and you can try to take yourself out of situation. I used to tell them all the time, try to take yourself out of situations that you can see gonna go wrong. That you can see. So I don't know. I think it's in the last week, it been so much just in the Richmond area, like every other day. Every other day, somebody parent is crying. Every other day. It really has been awful for the last week or two. Yeah. I used your cowboy boots. You know what? I did a video um when I went to Dillard's, and it was about 3 pair of shoes there. I can make myself. I really could. I could make them myself. And I think I might do that. I think I might can do a picture of the shoe or a boot that I seen and do my version of it. Because I was like, I could do this. We did these type of styles for hair shows, for hair competitions. The things that we used to do for hair competitions, it's like they're putting them in the stores for people to buy. Yeah. What hubby said. And Angela, hubby got a dub on me. Had your cowboy boots. Have a good evening. You too, baby. Thank you for coming in, April. I appreciate it. That made my day. Thank you. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you also. Thank you, baby. Yes. Not the girl. Felt pretty bad when I wore a nice pair of cowboy boots. Ain't nothing like a sexy pair of cowboy. I know that's right. With anything. Exactly. Hey, Victoria. Yeah, that's what they used to call him, Victoria OG. Yep. Thank you, Yvonne. No, not Yvonne. Barnwell. I want to Yvonne. Is it Yvonne? Yep. I know that's right. Thank you so much, Liv. I appreciate you. This phone get ready to go dead. So I appreciate each and every last one of y'all. It has been a joy to come over and just vibe with y'all. I'm going to go make some videos. I'm going to go get ice cream. You want ice cream?
Yeah, I can eat some.
So ice cream. You want the real ice cream, or you want to just pick up some? Like in the little tube?
That's fine.
You want the Haagen-Dazs?
No,
Okay, so you can put it in the refrigerator. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to get him some ice cream. We're going to go home. And I answer some of these questions everybody doing. Look, I did cry a little bit. Look. Yeah. I don't know. The inner thoughts of your life, you don't know why or what happens, or you can't control the actions of other people. You can control how you can respond to it. But only thing you can do is be the best person you can be. And I made a oath long time ago, after Omar, that I was really going to try my best to be a better listener and not just what I wanted. I want to, filter those dreams of what they want, whether I like it or not. Okay. Yeah. Thank y'all so much for coming on. I appreciate it. You never know, God placed people in your life just to give you a boost. You don't even know you need it until you get into a conversation like this. Okay? Tell them bye, babe. You're going to get your ice cream.
All right, bye.
Thank you. Love you so much. You know, y'all have a wonderful Saturday. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Okay? Love you. Thank you, Lord. This was good. This was good. Bye, babies.
I'm going to pick you out.